living beings, as human beings, we thank God for the opportunity to introspect. Many of us see spirituality as a boring matter, but we can't run away from it. And therefore, introspection is not a task, it is an opportunity. Because that is where we meet God. In thinking deep, we're able to encounter the Creator. That is where deep calls on deep. And we go ahead and do our work as doctors, engineers, teachers, lawyers, politicians, filled with the Spirit of God as full blossoming human beings. I find God when I play Igbo musical instruments, because these instruments are naturally spiritual and they lead us to deeper meanings in life. And as human beings, we continue to ask God to be with us in all we do.
I'm delighted to have you on Fides Time. Here, what we do is to unwind on weekends. So you already saw my guest, and I'm sure that if you've been following us, all this while, you already know who I'm with today because he's already performed. Hello, good morning, Gerald.
Good morning, Ifi.
Kekime.
Asim
Kanjogi. You made us cry. Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah, so why did you do that?
Yeah, you cried because life is beautiful. You cried because you are made of love. And you cried because you heard sweet sounds coming from the oboe. And you also cried because the AWKA is almost going extinct, and yet all Chineke nyerai kaiwe bien dwofuma bikanka chichiche kamwadu. You know, these are the things I think made you cry. The AWKA is the instrument that naturally makes me cry. Once I play it, I don't need to, if I don't want to think, I won't touch it. Because if I play it, I'll start introspecting. It's highly contemplative. So ndị Igbo nwe music for contemplation, anyị nwe egwu a na-agba agba, mana a na-agbakwa ya, it's also spiritual because every Igbo musical instrument says something to you, it impacts something on you. So I'm happy I made you cry in this way.
Dear.
It's a good one.
That's strange. I expected an apology. Just in case you felt a bit of what I felt, Gerald is happy that he got us to the point where we begin to get back into ourselves, yes, and begin to bring out the essence of who we really are. So this morning on Fides Time, we have a lot to do. Gerald, do you mind if we go to the newspaper, Fides newspaper for a moment? We've okay for now. Because this week we have lots of interesting topics on Fides newspaper for the week. So grab a copy and find out all the updates that you need to help you over the next week. The major topic that we have, the major headline, is Bishop AWKA celebrates 2024 EWAG, and I know that resonates with you. And of course we know that happened on the 31st of August, that's last Saturday, at the St. Patrick's Old Cathedral, AWKA, that's the refectory, and there were lots of Monsignors, priests, religious men, women, and lay faithful in attendance. What does the EWAG say about who we are as Ndibo, and what message would you like to leave us with?
At first, yam is the spiritual currency of the Igbo people. It's food, but it's also a currency, and it's not just material, it's also spiritual. And I feel privileged to answer you because my great-grandfather was EZEH.
Oh.
In fact, that's my surname, EZEH.
Okay.
I'm from Umuchu. And EZEH putana no n'ikoji ba ogaranya obodo abịa riwe jiga riwe mmemme ayaghị eritu nwe maka na ogi nwa bụ EZEH. So EZEH bụ akụ, that's the full name.
Okay.
So I smiled at the idea of EWAG when you threw the question. And I also want to point out that the Catholic Church has done so much. The Catholic Church in Igbo land has done so much to sustain the Igbo tradition. And this is one of the things you see the church do. I will talk more about that as time goes on, but I would like to point out that the Oja that I play today and that I'm known for, it was a Catholic priest that introduced me to traditional Igbo music.
That's serious.
Yeah, my uncle, Reverend Father Herbert EZEH.
Okay.
On moto. I know on a moto. He was so fond of me, as a child, a lot of people loved me. So on a moto, Oburum, ona akpo egwu perikoma. Na akpo egwu Teresa Honor. And Oja de chane egwu nde. Mo egwu again, but particularly egwu perikoma. And as a kid, enwe m ike je n'ọrụ quiet, n'ọrụ ofu ebe n'ọjụ na-ama mbem. Amadem no mbem ka m na-ama, na-express my thoughts and ideas in Igbo chants, And then every other village, okporum jeba na agbo egbo mmong, nene egbo mmong. So you see, that's a Catholic priest. At another level, Ngwo Catholic School, I went to Tans College, AWKA. I like to say that the structure Reverend Father Anthony Ejezium put then is that in Tans, everybody was a star. It's either you were good in table tennis or long jump or football or academics or music, and whichever one it is, you were celebrated for it. And so we had robust expression of talents. We had different cultural troupes, and having gained the appreciation of Igbo music, then coming to this school, I could see the instruments and I could touch them, and there were roles to be filled. We needed someone to play the ebo, we needed someone to play the oja, we needed, and we don't source it from outside. We do it inside the school. I akwa ebo mmọnwụ, I agba ebo eze, I agba atịla ọgwụ, I agba, I enwere ogene, enwere choir, enwere band. So all these troops, particularly the traditional troops, I was playing oja for them. So the school was my Igbo society.
Amazing.
The school was my village, because you can't really learn oja without having a village, a community to express. Maka Igbo oja mmadụ asịghị na ana m anụ. Igbo oja mmadụ asịrọ gị na ana m anụ. Ịmụ anụ people looking Igbo. You know. So the Catholic Church has done all these wonderful things, and I'm intentionally saying this because my generation, we are so pissed about many things, and one of it is, ndị ụka gọrọ anyị nke a mee, wee nara anyị ọdịnala anyị. That is one story. I am adding my story. I don't tell angry people not to be angry. If someone is angry, listen to the person. But I am not angry, and I'm sharing my story. Iwaji is really apt, and I'm so happy that the bishop is leading us in this very significant Igbo ceremony.
Onye wetazeno a copy of Fides newspaper. Funuka Bishop Siwaji nkie. You can see the bishop on this picture right on the front page of Fides newspaper. I'll just leave Obuoja. Bishop Waji. Okay, so this is Fides time. While he looks at that, just to remind you that you're right here with me on Fides Time, showing on Fides Media, Fides Television. My name is Ifi Aron Okafo, and I am with the multi-instrumentalist and one who is taking Igbo culture to the heights, to the global world. His name is GERALD EZEH. And he's here to share with us how he discovered himself as we talk about talent discovery. This is the second part of this series here on Fides Time. I hope you had a lovely week. Just put it in the comment section how your week was. Just in case anything happened that you want to bring to our notice, please put it in the comment box as well. Let us know what's going on around you. We can even talk about it on Fides Time. Remember as well that we'd like to know where you're watching from, so please put it in the comment box as well. You can also send a shout out to your friends, your loved ones right here. Anything you want to do, so please let's make the comment section very engaging and very active. Thank you so much as you join. And remember to share this live stream. That's your part. Thank you. All right, so back to Obuoja. I would like you to introduce us to other instruments there.
I need the water.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Yes, tupu igbu ọjị ya agbanye mmiri ka o wee chake ka ọ dị apụta ọfụma. Ịma otu a onugide enwuo mmiri, akpịrị gị agbacha. Otu a ka ọja dị maka na okwu ka ọ na-ekwu. Ife dị n'Igbo erika, Igbo amaka, Igbo miri emi. Makwa na-akọwa maka ọja. Ihe mmemme wu igbu ya egbu, mgbuchazie ya, enwere ike ọwụrụ ajụjụ ka ya ajụzi m wee kọwaba maka na ndị Igbo adịghị eme ụdị omume anyị na-eme. The traditional Igbo people, they do not just theorize, we perform. We perform knowledge. EZEH, our professor of agriculture, na-asụ Oyibo, enweghị adịghị established as a farmer. You know, EZEH onye na-akụ ji. You know, we show and we do. So we are artists. Okay. This is Oja. Okay. Oja, bụ ngwa egwu ndị Igbo, o nwere oghere ịnọ. Oghere na-atọ bụ nke mkpịsị aka na-adị na ya, mana oghere nke a bụzi nke ọnụ na-adị na ya. Ị ga-ezikwa ntị n'ihe niile Oja. And then you can ask me questions after that. Ebu kwezigbo mmadụ. Ime ọnụ mfepu ka nna chi fepu ya. Ikwesị imetụ na gị asị m ọkwa ọja jirikwa nwayọ. Mee fepu and mee fefu ogi maka onwe ke ezigbo ọja gị nwa ọwụrụ gị nwa ya efefu. Eji asị ọkwa ọja na ọja dufuo dike ruo na ọja baa akpa. Oya ka onye na-egbu ọja ọfụma ya eji ogbuo ọ sịghị anya na ana maka na anya na ana ka ọja gwara ijele. Ogbuo ọ sịghị nwayọkwa. Maka na ọ ma na onwe ka ọ ji eme gheri ya nkwụ ma ije ghasa high table mgbe aha nsogbu adị. Oya ka ejizi asị na ọja dufuo dike. Igbuketi odufuo dike ruo ana ọja baa akpa. So if ese nataba onwe ka ọ ya dị periko ma egbuo ọsọ na-egburi ọja nwe ibe aka ma na-egbu ya mkpụmkpụ mkpụmkpụ ahụ maka na ọja bụ poetry or condensed information. So ya gbuo ya ka ọ dị brief ka ọ ghọta ihe ọ na-ekwu and then ka ihe ọ na-egbu ghara idufie ya maka na ndụ onye Igbo dị clearly defined. Ihe ọ bịara ime ya na-eme ihe ọ bịara ime. Where even though we exist in community, we are individuals and we're committed to ihe ọwụna anyị na-eme. That's why we excel globally.
Amazing. Talking about globally, we'll come to that. I hope you've shared this live stream. I don't even know when I get home, I'll just go and sleep.
Ife dị iche bụ na ofu bụ oke nke ọzọ bụ nne. You can say nwunye. So that oke na nne classification is across Igbo musical instruments. Oke Igbo, nne Igbo. Oke ọja, nne ọja. Ebiakwa na ogene ensemble enwere oke nwee nne. And so oke bụ nke nwee the higher pitch range.
Okay.
Nne bụ nke nwee the lower pitch range. So nke a kịta bụ nne, nke a bụ oke. So ị na-efu na nne ka oke. And nne ha pitch range dị deeper. Okay, I don't want to complicate it.
Oh, I know.
Pitch range is deeper. And in a family, the lead performer in the family is the mother.
Of course.
Onya aneku, Emeka, hey, Abuchi, hey, Omebeku, hey, alone. Onwe keep 10 times. Hey, hini na decha, negu, you know. Okuchayeni now, wechibe warning, gejekwa n'ebe dị otu a. The father anọrụ na-eneghe anya ka ọ mara ihe ya eme. He doesn't say much. So the nne in the ensemble is the instrument that improvises.
Okay.
Ịbịa na ịgba mmụọ nkịta, ọ nne ịgba na-akụ ihe aha mmụọ ya agba. Abịakwa na ọja, ọ nne ọja na side by maka some na ndị na-awụ ikwu a na-esi in Igbo culture. Igbo awụghọ one village, Igbo ebuka. Mana ịbịa n'ụmụ uchu side by ọ nne ọja ka eji edu mmụọ wee na-agwa mmụọ okwu. Maazị na-agwa ihe a na-agwa mmụọ maka na ịmara mmụọ.
Mba. Anyị nwa bụ ndị ụka ahụ anyị efu maka. You introduced us to the Uba earlier. Ubaka. Mana onwe ndị chefi ọfụma ka ịgwake na anyị ihe ọ bụ.
Oh, yeah, Ubaka. Onwe ndị amachara akwụkwọ na-akpụ ya afọ oyibo mana afọ ya Ubaka maka onye rụọ ya rụchaa ya baa ya Ubaka. And as Africans, we must take the authority to name our things and retain the name we give our things. Anyị nwanwe ihe ikpọ ya ka ọ ya ahụ onye aghọtazi kọwara ya akọwara ụhọ English name. So I'm starting with that maka enwe ike John, what is the English name? English name. So this is Ubaka, and it made you cry.
Yes.
And I can understand why. All the meditative, you know, onwe metal prongs, igwe, eji akpụ ya. So ị na-akpụ ụba, ọ ya eme mmụọ gị ịdelu jụụ. Ade achọ peace achọ, ọ dịrọ n'iro, ọ dị n'ime. Ade achọ love achọ, ọ dịrọ n'iro, ọ dị n'ime gị. Ihe niile dị n'ụwa is happening in your experience.
Wow.
Within you. So that is what the obo does. The only thing is that there are conditions for peace to exist. You know, like the music of Bob Marley. Onye chage the conditions, you know, until no race calls the other superior and the other one inferior. If not, everywhere is war. Because are they achọ peace achọ in the first place? But the conditions for peace are established. So what the AWKA does to your body is to condition you in order and experience the peace, EZEH feel about peace within you, love, beauty, respect for one another. So instrumental music, that is how Western classical music is. And that is the same thing that traditional music can do to you. Instrumental music can elevate you to higher planes and truth, where you meet God, where you are your purest self. And in that state, you can tear up. So this is the obo. And on our own because these things are happening in my own life. So mechambu for them say, chai, kidi how make it? These things, ana kono ona ana. I'm like, I can't remember that bomb, Simbia Kuzier piano. Say piano. Well, I did that as a university student, but these days, this same Kuzier piano singing, in my academy. We can talk about that later, but I have an academy of music, Ichoku Academy, where I teach children Igbo musical instruments and Igbo folk songs and dance, and it's a cultural institution. Why you are doing this research is because this AWKA is going into extinction, and if nothing is done, it will go into extinction. As if writing about it is doing something. So we are doing the work like you are doing the work here.
Commercial break because my head is full, right? There's a lot you've said. Oh my, you've made me so meditative.
Yes, that's how we should be as human beings, isn't
Seriously. Yes, we should. We should be this way. I think you have one more instrument.
Okay. Well, ekpili bụ
Oh yes.
You see another level to contemplation. Na-akụ ekpili echiche gị ihe dị onye na-agụ egwu ekpili ihe adịghị n'ime the message na-apụta. The sound, the nature of the sound helps, you know, with memory.
Okay.
And also the repetition of rhythm. You know. So this is the instrument that helps them do that. Also piano. Because this is the roots. And so I have that. And then this one is a bamboo instrument that I designed by myself. And I like this particular one. There are finer ones in terms of aesthetics, but this was the first one, so I like to move around with it. So, because I try to tell people, no, jabro pepelo, now jani kuku. And even though but then, you know, this bamboo flute is also another beauty. So I'm in the research cadre in Nnamdi Azikiwe University.
Okay.
And part of my work is to do all these things I do, to go into the community, discover music for myself, not to discover it as if like inventing the idea of the music, but to discover life myself, you know, through music, and then teach it to people, take music from, you know, from the university, you know, to people in the community, and write about these things in the end, produce films out of it, picture, photo books, and all. So this is what I call it PPL for now.
Okay.
Let me play it for you, so
Please.
you experience it.
Okay, just so you know, you can join the conversation. Please drop a comment in the comment box. Tell me what readings you're getting from the interaction that I'm having with our multi-instrumentalist and globally acclaimed Owoja. Please, talk to us, talk to him, ask him questions. I'm not going to do this interview alone. I need you to ask him questions. Write in the comment box.
So it's another instrument that can probably make you cry.
Please, I don't want to cry.
So, you see, so my work in the research cadre is to invent instruments, teach instruments, and take music to secondary school. So I'm an artist signed to Felborn Records at the moment, and Felborn Records is interested in promoting indigenous music. And with the support of Felborn Records and Nnamdi Azikiwe University, I get to do a lot for the society. You see, when our children can encounter music like this, you have real human beings. You will preach less. You will teach less. We teach too much. We like to teach and correct. When you bring people to the experience of good music, you will talk less. But when in the absence of bringing them to the experience of good music, you allow them to remain exposed to anything, that is music. We are building chaos. There is no constitution that will help such human beings to behave properly, to enjoy their lives, to respect one another, to live in harmony. These things will now become theories because the person does not have the capacity to appreciate these things. And so Felborn Records have funded me to take music to secondary schools. A whole ensemble, about 15 persons performing the xylophone, organophone, the AWKA, the oja, the eba, and some Western instruments. These are music you take to the White House, to serious events. And education is a serious thing in Igbo culture. The traditional Igbo people know that education is a serious thing. And so in the way we socialize, in the way a child is raised, the child naturally encounters these things we are doing now, encounters these performances of folk music, of Igbo. Okokoko saying na obili Igbo sikwa nke a na-egwu because obili Igbo is ọ na-akpọdo onwe onye ozi ọma because his music touches the soul, is a gospel. And you don't even necessarily need to add Peter, Paul, and Jesus Christ to Igbo music for it to instruct you to be quality human being. You know, it's already there. It's in Bruzier na Peter Seku. You know, Peter also said. So, we do these things, take music to children in secondary schools, and they dance. And you see that these children prefer the music we play for them than the ones, you know, the teachers always play, Moenwebe graduation. You know what I mean?
I know.
I say, ana apo egwu ma achọghị ịkpọ afịa, you know, and lyrics ma achọghị ikwu maka ya. Ana akpọ ya nwatakịrị dị 5 years, ọ na-agbụ ya network, me I say, go Mimi, go Mimi, go Mimi. That's a meal. Ana akụ aka, mothers agada, na akụrụ Mimi aka, ọ network, na achọkọ network ya otu o si afịa na TV. Whereas that is a song, oya bụ nwata amụ na traditional society in Igbo. Mana that particular dance, nothing is wrong with it. Mana onwe context. Onwe mgbe eji agbụ ya. Onwe ike at the point where you clearly want to elicit sexual attraction from a man.
Yes.
Puberty dance enwe ka ọ bụrụ ndị dị go ready ịnụ di ha agba ya ka di wee fụ ha. Nya ka Mimi ibido gbaba at age 7. Oya ha ncha wụ na ya eto n'ogologo. Na, you know, na ya morning and na ya digo enlightened, you know, and then these are the real problems. So when we say our ancestors did this and that, we don't even know that in the next 500 years we will become ancestors. And I didn't make anything much meaningful compared to what our ancestors did. They did the real thing. No? It's just that we learned the new ways of doing everything, and therefore we don't even understand what they did. So, in an economy that is not functioning, you know, onye anaghị apụ apụ socialize of ọnụ dị on na nne ihe dị be nne ya mee na ọnụ dị. Whereas in this age we are not conscious enough, we're not creating for the next 500 years. We're not creating for the next 200 years. Anyị na-arụ ụlọ na-agba moto wee na-agụ egwu na-extol sọsọ ịrụ ụlọ na ịgba moto. Whereas the Igbo person is first a symbolic being, a human being. Ọ ya bụ ọ align ya with mmụọ o ji bịa ụwa mee ihe o ji bịa. Ịgụ moto na ịrụ ụlọ is a joke to what he will achieve, he or she will achieve. So these are the things I do with music. And these are the kind of experiences I want children to have without saying it. We just play music to them. And then these children come to me after such programs. We've gone to Farero Oneku Memorial Nursery and Primary School, which is where I schooled.
For real?
Yes.
In Amobi?
In Amobi. Ever I can go nursery school. Then go to primary school. Interesting. Wow. Kebo, I grew up in Nangene.
Okay.
Interested. So all these things are coming together. We went to Fadeku, we went to St. Teresa's Enugu. You know, I dress like this and go. So I say, hey, mommy, and I wear their classmates, not mommy, you know, that's what they will say when they get home. And I say, hey, there is a native doctor that came to our school. What you and then set up. By the time native doctor goes, the so-called native doctor, by the time he starts performing, they understand nothing is wrong with this. Nothing is wrong with putting on white. Nothing is wrong with this beat. You understand? Nothing is wrong with it. And you see these children, they want to come to the stage to dance. They want, after the event, we spend another 1 hour, 2 hours speaking with them. They are all coming to hug me, to take pictures, to ask questions, to tell me how their parents are not allowing them to do music, and I should talk to their parents. And I now smile. I say, I wish we can keep bringing these things together. The Igbo man, the Igbo person is compartmentalized, and it's not right. And the community is too compartmentalized. We are primarily Igbo people. Anyway, so this is it, and I'm happy when I encounter these children, and I'm happy to even talk about it here in Fides.
Now, let's talk about how you started. because I know this interview will not end. I want us to end soon because there are other things. I know you have programs for today and those who are watching as well. But I need you to talk to us about at what point did you discover that this is your destiny? You know, to help Ndibo to recover, to get back to ourselves and to rediscover our music and to find ourselves again. Kedum wibido where gotabia na wibido pan where mepotebe ngwe wagase.
Yeah. Ihiju Bezigbo ajụjụ is very apt. At first, my mother was a chorister, you know, EZEH. And my mom has very strong values, you know, the culture of going to the chapel, you know, and the culture of belonging to an art society like the choir in the Catholic Church. And when I was small, I was choir master in St. Matthew then, you know. So because I had the audacity to come in front of the choir and conduct them. You know, even when the choir master is there, I'll be doing my own work. So, I'm a choir master. Okay. Yeah, that is a part of how it started. I already talked about Reverend Father EZEH, my uncle, who was now handling the traditional side without knowing. You know, if he this serious, he ana daina kande mwahe ne muga ya unye mwahe unye characha. You know, ebia for serious people from your parents to your siblings, to your environment, to your teachers, you will always meet quality people. So I'm sure my mom didn't know what she was doing when she was taking me to the chapel, to the to choir. And my uncle didn't know what he was doing too. But another part of it was when I got to the university. I already talked about Tan's College and how we played music. So even if you're not doing well academically in Tan's, as far as you can play table tennis, you are a star. And that thing has a way of impacting on you to now eventually do well in academics. Because you have and that was the focus of Fides then. He always said, and sometimes he made a good idea because name when or counsel or say continue you know, one of the turning points of my life was the encounter with the late Father Jeremiah AWKA. When I became truant in Tan's College, that was when he became the principal. SS1.
Okay.
Very, very truant. Very stubborn at that point. But I was already a multi-instrumentalist. I could play the guitar, I could play the piano. Okay. So Father Jerry batached and treated a case where I was terribly flogged. And in fact, the case of sneaking out, I sneaked out of school. And the that dance, that's again, that's I'm telling you, I didn't even go out to buy anything. And when they found out, I was punished. But you see, life is funny. I'll sneak out to Kanjeneni Moka. What is my job now as an ethnomusicologist? My full-time work is to study traditional music.
So you never see Moka.
So it's also true. As much as I was breaking the bounds of formation, it's also true that I was also doing EHNGBO, and at that point, I can feel one and then I waste quantum time. Come see go there about you know, the order, the music, everything. So interestingly, Father Jerry got that case and flogged me, and I was punished. But I'll be a mass the next day, the next Sunday. I noticed that he was distracted for most part of the mass because Okabata often Omarum. Nsi na organ, nsi na the piano, mbanye na guitar, nsi na for trumpet. So Monday, the next day, you know, of at a place so question from, you know, because we were having assembly. I wanted to ease myself. You must maintain discipline in Tan's College. That was the order. And he called me and said, come, Mbia. And say, Ejidokwa mozo. But then he said, so you have all these talents and you want to waste yourself. That question was the turning point. That is the GERALD. The GERALD you know today that made a first class in music. That thing was the turning point. And that is what we call formation.
Because Anyaya only believe for the first class.
You know,
oh my God,
do you understand?
amazing.
So that was the turning point.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
though.
but let me get to the height of it.
Okay.
Father Emmanuel Amazing. You see, I knew him when I was a kid. Reverend Father Professor Emmanuel Amazing. Honestly, I tell him from time to time, I say, Father, Professor Anakwane Ekwemoh, because I knew you as a professor when I was small. You know, he's my guru. Like, yeah. Oh my goodness. As a kid, listening to him talk, listening to him. So he taught me music at Nnamdi Azikiwe University. And he was my academic mentor, guiding me. In fact, he's the one that made me to write my first degree research on Oja. Because I could do too many things. But such a talent that could do too many things needs a visionary leader that can say, do this particular one, or start from here. If not, you probably won't start and you won't get anywhere. So he advised me to do Oja, and he supervised that project. That project is going to be performed, that first degree project. I got an email just some weeks ago. It's going to be performed somewhere important in the world, outside this country next year.
Wow.
I don't want to give the details.
Oh my God.
So, you see what I talk about when I talk about formation. Serious enough.
The right people just navigate towards you
and guide you. So he also supervised my master's degree research. All these things I do, using an ensemble to teach schools, that was my master's degree project. And Father Amazingwa supervised that, Father Emmanuel Amazingwa. So there were a lot of people that contributed. Prosiko Megu, guided me step by step, books, articles, projects. I can discuss with him for 3 hours, and I'm like, I know this man holds an important position. As a university student, I could discuss with him. He would listen to me for hours. All these things formed me. All these things made me the kind of musician I am today. I can go on and on, but wow. This is like the summary.
Okay, so we haven't even scratched the surface of this interaction, and I'm hoping and appealing that the next time you're in town, we'll be happy to have you back to continue on this series. It's going to be a long one, a journey. And I know you love adventures. Well,
I think people can just also follow my social media handles. GERALD EZEH on Facebook, official GERALD EZEH on Instagram, GERALD EZEH _ Oja on TikTok. Or you just go to my website, GERALDEZEHmusic.com. And you see enough, and we can always engage. If you have a school and you want us to come to your school, we will go. At the moment, we are doing the tour free of charge, sponsored by Fairborn Records, because I don't want anybody to waste my time. I think a lot of us are sleeping. So you can come to a school and they start asking you, what do we gain? So when we come, we say, if you ask me, do we need to put light? I say, no, we'll come with a generator. Okay, what of the food? You say, no, we have food. Just bring out your students and we will entertain them, because there is no time. You said something about how I'm contributing to, I think you said helping Igbo people or saving. When you see how you know someone that is not serious with his mission is that the person will tell you that he has come to save people. I've come to save myself first. And in saving myself, I know that my community has to be sane. And so it is a selfless adventure. So I am contributing to my community aggressively. Nothing will stop that. I will keep moving. And so it's a work I'm doing for my own good, and then for the good of my community.
Well, I think This is amazing. In saving ourselves, we save others,
Yes.
and then of course the good. I say na millionaires on a boy on assassin a bomb wherever on assassin.
Of course, it will spread. It's in a dilemma where
So I wish you well.
Thank you. That sounds like a prayer, and I felt it.
Yeah, right. Because even being close to you, there's this atmosphere around you.
The aura.
Yeah, the aura is spiritual, really, and it gets one thinking. It gets one becoming more purposeful and trying to see, oh, what next can I do? And it's all about making far-reaching social impact. Yes, and I believe that everyone who's been with us will see how important it is for all of us to join hands with you to actualize this mandate. Now, if you have a school, you can reach out to GERALD EZEH Music. Of course, that's www.geraldezehmusic.com. You can also drop a message right in this comment box. I believe that his PA will go through, and just in case you need them to message you and you get to their WhatsApp, if you don't want to go through the website, that's also possible. Na comment section. I'm interested. I would like for the trip to come and perform at. And if the school is within AWKA, I don't mind. I can even come around. I really would like to be in this atmosphere a lot more times. Okay, so you're going to. I will just let you do what you have to do, right? And we'll probably start crying all over again. But just to let you know that this is where we'll drop the curtain on today's edition of the program, Fides Time on Fides Television, Fides Media. Remember that this program is up for sponsorship, partnership, and any form of engagement. Please let us know if you have a business or a brand that you want to promote. We can definitely do that for you here at a very affordable rate. Look at the scroll below. You'll find the details, the email, the phone number, so you can connect with us and get on board. You know, this is the Ember season, and we are ready to take your business to the ends of Nigeria and even beyond. So just be part of this. We have a global person. Of course, you know that wherever you have global people coming, you know, to be interviewed, that tells you that the program has global reach, and that is exactly what is happening. I'll see you next time. My guest has been GERALD EZEH, and I'll leave him to say one or two things to us before he continues. I am Ifi Aaron Wokafo. I'll see you next time.
I will say, Nkonye nemenya jisike, Nkonye nemenya mebofuma, Akara konye nedonye. Ilatabuna nkiji aka, ilatabuna nkineme, nkechinyela onye n'ụwa wanunu mu otu oge sime, onye ilo mu chetechi, onye ilo mu ifulu chimanya, akara aka onye nedu onye. Mangi chetani ila burochi, mangi chetani ila burochi yo. So I have a new music out there, and it is entitled Enyi. It's an adaptation of Mike Ejaya's Nameza Kwatameni. So you can listen to it. It's up on all music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud. And enjoy yourself. Nkoye na-emenya jisike, onye asikwana gị na ife na-eme adịrọ mma ma ọ bụrụ akara aka gị. While God has blessed me to travel across the world and perform my music and teach in universities in the United States and all, I am interested in teaching my people and also contributing to my environment. When you do things like that, people will say you are mad. Haya sini inwere agwụ, ezigbo agwụ na-emesi eke. Daalụ.
Remember it. Let's do this. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.